One thing you can't do is just dismiss my knowledge. Common sense ain't common. Common sense ain't common. Who make the decisions in your life? Yeah. I would never fuck with you. Yeah. Common sense ain't common. No common sense. I would never fuck with you. Yeah. Bitch, I am that pilot in the air I be. Bitch, I was that fire for that kerosene. You was watching Pirates of the Caribbean. You was just a liar and a careless fiend. I'ma take that break and never stretch it. Yeah, gotta do it once I learned my lesson. You know what I mean? Baby, take that voodoo off of me. I don't wanna lose you in the streets. Using energy. Baby, got that toolie in the seat. For anybody shooting at a cheat. Yeah, look, homie, the gods ain't shit. Like a bitch just farted. Always make mistakes because you just retarded. You don't ever finish what you bitches started. Please don't make me finish if I didn't start it. Never went to college, I'm a different scholar. You ain't got no common sense, cause common sense ain't common. One thing you can't do is just dismiss my knowledge. Common sense ain't common. Common sense ain't common. Who make the decisions in your life? Yeah. I would never fuck with you. Yeah. Common sense ain't common. No common sense. I would never fuck with you. Yeah. In that corporate world, you are just a course not started. Check your post, I bet you got no correspondence. You just want that business and that corporate sponsor. Till you got it like you can't afford no longer. I know you got some kids, is that your boy or daughter? Got you just now trying to realize life is more than violence. You got more than problems, need a solution, right? When you was born, you shouldn't have known you had a stupid life. Then you start thinking about the things you wasn't doing right. You in the kitchen might start thinking you should use a knife. Yeah, you was the one that was lost in the sauce and you suicidal. Do you wanna die? This ain't do or die, no. You're leaving back before you knew Chicago. Only a week before you knew Ohio. Just keep telling us that beat, bitch. Versus the program you new arrivals. You got a lot more to worry about. Soon as I get in, I'ma hurry about. It don't matter what degree you have or that bullshit you be learning about. One thing you can't do is just dismiss my knowledge. Common sense ain't common. Common sense ain't common. Who make the decisions in your life? Yeah. I would never fuck with you. Yeah. Common sense ain't common. No common sense. I would never fuck with you. Yeah. Do you wanna ride? Yeah. When it's parked outside. Do you wanna ride? Yeah. All like that.
Common sense ain't common. Now listen, when you intelligent and you really tapped in and you still connected with your people and things of that nature, for the most part, you don't get lost and over exaggerated. So things could be simple. All things that simple could be debunked in 2 seconds, 2 minutes, or whatever the case may be. So I want y'all to question yourself if you got common sense, right? Let's not even talk about humans. An animal. Is an animal what they are based on where they were born or them migrating somewhere? Think about that for a second. I want y'all to go through all the trains of thoughts of, well, this species moved over here and that's why they like this now. But what makes them that species, right? Think about that for a second. Is an animal what they are because of their structure of where they was born, or is an animal what they are based upon where they migrated? Not if it got an extra arm or not. Is it still a shark? Is it still a bear? Then I want you to ask the question, this one. Do all the bear lineage lead to Africa? Think about that. You know what I'm saying? You got a polar bear. You got a panda bear. You got a koala bear, right? Is the panda bear a panda bear because they traveled there? Is a koala bear because they traveled there? And it's all bears from a specific location? Or is the panda bear a panda bear because they there? Is a koala bear because they there? Right? So here's what's common. Both is bears. But based on geographical location, you got two kind of bears. Why do y'all stop that comprehension when we get to humans? I don't understand that. I just don't get it. I don't get, why do y'all always want to piggyback on scams or something like that? Because you can't debunk that. I don't care what you talk about. Or you gonna have to explain to me, once you get out of that common sense pocket, why something has to be different always when it comes to humans. Now, humans, animals all over the place, but you could have a similar animal trait still born in different places. Koala bear, panda bear, right? But somehow a human gotta attract themselves all the way back to Africa. So all humans come from one area. I don't get that. To how we getting different humans if all humans come from one area? Same way, if all bears came from one area, how we getting different bears? And migration ain't gonna cut it. I'm sorry. Any discussion, any debate you try to add with migration and evolution ain't gonna cut it. Man, ain't gonna cut it. No, you're gonna create another 2,000-year-old argument. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Until you just understand that butterfly was born in that geographical location over there. That's why you will never see it may be a butterfly in this geographical location, but there'll never be a light. I don't care what you're talking about, unless you're getting into invasive species, and we see that with humans and animals and plants that get brought over here. Or a lot of y'all wouldn't have rats and roaches today. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what y'all talking about. Like y'all get out of here. What y'all talking about? You know what I'm saying? Now, if you want to make sense out of it, first of all, you ain't get ready to say all bears from Africa, so you damn sure ain't get ready to say all humans from Africa. And you know that a bear is based upon a location. So unless you get ready to describe how Europeans evolved from Africa and Asians evolved from Africa and you know what I'm saying? And then Native American. This is what y'all need to understand. Same way koala bears and stuff like that, y'all kind of disrespect the Europeans. Europeans know they from Europe. And Europe is just a name that represent the geographical location. And the more evolved people who feel like they're more important over the land because they was there first, it's going to be the ones who named it. Once you get to Africa, right? Now y'all getting these concepts from people who colonizing Africa, who ain't even from Africa. So it's like, that don't even make sense. The people who gave y'all that concept of everybody out of Africa theory was a person who wasn't even from Africa. So you get ready to try to argue some shit that they wasn't even involved in their mind. You get ready to say, well, they would have said they evolved in there and something that got to do with some Arabs and some Moors went over there, created a whole new race. I'm like, get out of here with y'all. Y'all lost in, y'all not into ethnic and lineage and blood, your actual blood and phenotype, to know what you actually are, what you actually mix with. And today's time, if you still that, y'all lost in nationality terms and out of Africa theory because somebody from Britain named a specific geographical location, Africa, that you had Arabs in, you had Berbers in, you had, and these are names that individuals are naming themselves, not being colonized, and the land is being remixed. The name is being remixed. So you have people that's connecting with other people that claim that they're ruling, doing world trade. Here's where you get a combination of words, something that this people could understand and something that this people could understand, and we get the creation of pidgin language, where people who may not be able to understand each other because they're from different geographical locations want to make business together because we're getting into world trade, starting in the 1500s is where we at now, or the 1400s. If you can't understand that, please get offline with y'all retardedness. Get off with your retardedness. There would be no such thing as everything we even went through out of Africa theory even existed. There would be no such thing as you traveling somewhere else and realizing there's something you never seen before, but it's a human too. Same way a koala bear, if they had a human brain, they traveled somewhere and seen a panda bear, they'd be like, don't know. And then one may try to colonize the other. Other than that, it would have been some type of history and lineage or something like that. Like, yeah, you come from here, and this group of people, you come from here, and then take the steps back all the way back, because people is given that importance because we are people. So we give importance to what we around, who we born by. our generation, you think everybody, y'all be talking from the lens as if people ain't people, thinking about themselves and they people in these times, when y'all be talking about previous times. Just as much as y'all lost and colonized and don't do it as hard, people was doing that harder back then. So any form of information you're receiving come from people who consider their lineage is important or whatever, something y'all don't do. So when y'all just get lost in other areas or whatever, y'all come up with stupid stuff like out of Africa theories that don't make no sense. Europeans from Europe, Chinese people is from that area and location that they call in China. Africans and Arabs is from that area we call in Africa. Native Americans is from the area we're calling North America, South America, and Central America. The end. When we start to talk about mixing and stuff, people, this is how you know people got colonist starting points, because they always talk about force. People gon' regardless, whether you force or not, out of necessity. This is a human trait. Eat, effing, and sleeping. So I don't care if you mix with others or you just amongst your other people. Effing gonna be going on. The moment somebody start trying to justify the reason people is mixed and try to make it seem like certain people look the way they look, this is a person that's lost, trying to make a mixture of something, an original of something. When you hear me say I'm mixed with Native and African, that don't mean I'm separating the two and trying to create some whole new retarded stuff like FBA, where you not either or. You not African or you not Native, and you not even really mixed. So it don't even make no sense. You know, this is not no new thing. You are what you are. Just like if you Puerto Rican, Dominican, or whatever the case may be. These are just terms based upon what happened culturally and to understand what you are mixed with. Other than that, you either mix or you ain't. You know, and a lot of y'all mix with more percentage scale of Arab and European. I don't know why y'all don't claim them rights and things of that nature. But for the most part, when it comes into understanding each geographical location or whatever, right? These are just names for them. But the ground, the sun, the way things is making things up, that's going to make the evolution of the panda bear all the way to the species of the bug, all the way to the human. And you ain't going to never be able to debunk that. Or you're going to be somewhere trying to claim there was one race and it started off with two humans that was created from some space golem called the goddamn Anunnaki or some stupid stuff that really mean the spiritual beings that y'all copying Native Americans. But for the most part, y'all get ready to say that somehow two people started practicing you see, y'all gotta color this mind. Y'all whole grounding point start on incest. It gotta be some form of incest, whether you effing your family members or you and life don't work that way. Same way a group of turtles could be born over there, a group of wolves could be born over there. So that already creates the distinction between if that's relative or not, but it shared a similar organs that you could go ahead and repopulate or whatever the case may be. That wouldn't exist if the starting point y'all talking about everything start with incest and everything start in one geographical location, then your spooky god created two people first. That's retarded. That's dumb. You don't even see that with no animals, no species, only the human brain. And y'all really be out here trying to making millions of dollars and be trying to sound intelligent, and y'all be having donut brains. Straight free donut day brains. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be having straight free donut day brains. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it don't be making no sense. A hole, you got a heart murmur in your brain. Only thing y'all can say is, oh, people smoke weed. Oh, people drink. You retarded. You know what I'm saying? I don't give it. So you're just gonna justify it after that? Somebody else retarded who paid you to kick that stuff nobody listening to? You know what I'm saying? Y'all is lost out of y'all brains, man. Y'all out y'all mind. Some of y'all need an L. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Some of y'all need an L. You'll spend more time thinking before presenting what's coming out your mouth. Y'all got to work hard to try to make that what I just said sound like that's what I'm doing. You got to work hard for that. Like I said, you got to make it sound like it sound good that two humans come from one geographical location and somehow just start duplicating all other humans. And then you got another argument. Then how mixture happened if everybody come from incest? How other families and other because they was in a geographical location. Now you about to argue for evolution. Now it's like, get out of here. Yo, retardedness. No, just understand humans was born everywhere like bears was born everywhere. You go to one geographical location, you see a panda bear. You go to another geographical location, location, you see a koala bear. You go to one geographical location, you see Chinese people where they call in China. You go to another one, in Central, South, and Northern America, you see Native Americans here. You ain't gonna never see more Native Americans in China or Africa or Europe than in America. You ain't gonna never see more Europeans in America, China, or Africa than in Europe. You ain't gonna never see more Arabs or Africans or Nigerians and things of that nature, and nowhere else in America or Europe or China more than there. You ain't gonna never see more Japanese and China people and the Philippines or whatever. You ain't gonna never see more of them where they at in other areas like America or Europe than there. So that's God showing everybody what makes sense higher on a percentage scale first. God did what God did first. Whatever y'all get ready to talk about is just, oh, he brought God into the discussion, y'all. That's all you can do. No one cares about y'all atheist retarded thoughts. You know what I'm saying? It give y'all thoughts like that. Two people born out the sky or something like that in Africa and giving birth to humanity, then you got to argue for evolution based upon is really just a justification for colonization and making people slaves. That's really all it is. You got people that part of other ethnic groups taking part of that. That's the retarded part of it. When you a whole nother ethnic group taking part of that ideology, you're not making yourself look good. You make yourself look retarded. Because you ain't got nothing to do with Africa. And somebody ain't from Africa told you how to argue for Africa. Shut up. You know what I'm saying? I'll go no further than that. Your money ain't good. Your face card ain't good. You know what I'm saying? Y'all face cards don't even be good and stuff like that. Y'all don't be making no sense. Y'all don't be having no grounding, no back into anything of that nature. Y'all just get lost into it ain't where you're from, it's where you're at. No, we about to turn that back around. This is where you from. Some of y'all minds would never represent where y'all be at. That's why y'all be flunked out, retarded, trying to take over stuff, don't think retarded and stuff. It'll never mix and mingle where you at. You don't need to be in no gang. You don't need to be in no house party. You don't need to be in a mafia. You don't need to be in that white collar, blue collar. Like, some of these qualities have to start to matter. We can't be creating colonist concepts everybody accept because Walt Disney and Michael Jordan taught us these things. Now y'all running around thinking it ain't where you're from, where you're at. And that's a lot of problems around the world right now because of that. People don't care about where they from. They keep want to go somewhere and be at somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Tell me Africa ain't dealing with that problem right now. You know what I'm saying? So I don't care about that. Y'all like LD and retarded, man. Please get offline trying to teach people what them and their family already talk about with themselves. Y'all don't be having no origin story or how y'all origin story. That don't even make no sense. That don't make no sense. My origin story is here. It came from here and animals and spiritual here. I'm the son, Uriel, Western son of here. I ain't got no other origin story. I can't tell you about Africa. I can't tell, unless I'm talking about my dad's side. But I can't tell you about no Africa or Chinese, or I can't tell you because I'm in America. That's just a name that represents a geographical location that got turned corporate into business. Same way as Africa or whatever. But the names get mixed up, just like Amir, Incas, and Maya, that's America. So you have the Americans, and the original Americans was just Europeans who was getting beat up over there in Britain. So they want to come over everywhere else and practice what they call that white superiority or whatever the case may be. Like I don't understand. Like Britain big enough to do that in. Like Britain, wide Britain, got all kind of corners and streets and stuff like that, but got some weird concept. They want to go everywhere else and do that. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I guarantee ain't no European gonna tell you they ain't from Europe. I guarantee you that ain't gonna tell you they ain't from Spain. I guarantee you that. Y'all monkey punks, you know what I'm saying? Monkey rashes all somewhere jumping around talking about other retarded stuff because y'all lost and trying to get a check. Man, that's y'all, that's low-hanging fruit. Try to get a check a better way, or stop caring about a check and broaden your arousements. You know what I'm saying? Your awarenesses and stuff like that. Or y'all gonna be lost listening to Neil deGrasse's, and he ain't got no common sense. He ain't got no common sense. He been talking about atoms and stuff like that for the past 50 years. He been teaching stuff like that. He ain't proved nothing. You know what I'm saying? They ain't cure AIDS yet. They ain't cure herpes yet. They ain't cure y'all hair to grow back yet. They ain't cure none of these things yet. They ain't cure y'all to have kneecap health. They ain't cure none of these things. All y'all still fat. I don't want to hear anytime it comes to things that matter. You know what I'm saying? Just like when they be trying to say cyber, they can record, they can listen to you and stuff like that. That show never counts when stuff actually happens. When real stuff happens, that never counts. It always counts to scare people. But it'll never count when we actually start seeing things in the world that actually real people start doing. Obviously, they wouldn't even care about that then. They got away with something where they had to get caught and get investigated, get a RICO charge before anything happened. Yet they can hear us through our TVs and phones and shit, but a little dirt in jail. You know what I'm saying? They can hear somebody through the TV and phones. Everybody should. You know what I'm saying? So if that's the case, you better not even use it, even if you can. It's just you just a pervert. It's not even about it being intelligent. At this point, it's about you just a pervert. You just want to listen to people. You know what I'm saying? That's it. We ain't about to make something like y'all be over exaggerating about over exaggerating. Y'all humans be over exaggerating. That's when you know somebody get ready to make $1 out of something. Heavy over exaggeration got to be around it. You know what I'm saying? Because something could just be simple and something. It's real simple and stuff like that. You ain't going to never make me believe a European evolved out of Africa. A Japanese person evolved out of Africa. You ain't going to never make me believe that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't going to never make me believe that. And if you mix now. Or it will be no such thing. Everybody will be this one new thingy or race or something like that. Just how it started. From two people who was practicing incest. Y'all just like practicing calling this stuff. That's what y'all really be wanting to practice. Incest. Ask a lot of these Hebrew Israelites. A lot of these cats grew up messing with their family members. You know what I'm saying? And these nations of Islams and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But how we get more stories about y'all playing with little boys' booty holes and being rappers' bodyguards than actually, you know what I'm saying? I don't care about no church that anybody else can make. No, Joe Osteen got a church. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no accomplishment or something else. Ain't no calling this action. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all be over exaggerating sometimes. Chill out for a little bit. And if everybody out of Africa, take your monkey ass back. That's simple. Don't be in America talking about out of Africa or whatever. You should be talking about out of Africa in Africa. I should be seeing you building a pyramid right now. You should be doing a cartwheel backflip down 3 pyramid steps right now. You know what I'm saying? Real stuff. Teaching everybody to go back to your holy motherland. Other than that, you in America trying to make $1. I don't hear all that. You know what I'm saying? Just know you got brought the boat and that's it. That's it. That's it. You ain't gotta work hard. We can work hard and come together and be creative now. Ain't think about nothing retarded or something like that. Y'all having arguments that don't even make sense with koala bears and panda bears. Y'all gotta understand that, so it ain't gonna make sense with humans either. If a panda bear had sex with a koala bear, all right, that's a mixed person. You don't get to make that a whole new nationality or get to say one thing ain't the right. You know what I'm saying? You be having a whole bunch of original people that their concept of being original is being mixed. That don't make no sense. How you the first people and every time you describe what you are, it's a multitude of other people you claim that's mixed. That don't make no sense. Just like the stupid FBA stuff, right? They sit there and claim they are a mixture, which really more Arab and European, but they claim they're a mixture of Native American, Europeans, and black people, and then in the same breath claim that they're the original, and Native Americans is Siberian or whatever the case, like some retarded stuff or things of that nature. Yet there's nothing you can actually prove that make sense. You can't prove you are regular something, but when you describe it, you are a mixture of the things you call and mixed. I said that don't even make any sense or things of that nature. So that what is that then? A mixture of Europeans that's originally from Africa that got took over from Moors that had sex with some Polynesians or whatever the case that came over here to America real early, and then somehow they look like the African people that's still more of a majority in Africa today. That doesn't make no sense. You know what I said? That doesn't make any sense. So I think everybody getting confused with that out of Africa theory, and it ain't where you from is where you at. So if you was born somewhere, that means something too. No, none of those things mean anything. Out of Africa is false, and where you from, it ain't where you from is where you at. That's false. No, we know where you based upon your blood. We gotta have discussions of blood and phenotype. You know what I'm saying? Blood and phenotype. You can't be running around with a whole bunch of European and Arab so it look like it, and then be claiming other stuff based upon making stupid arguments about somebody lied to y'all. Ain't nobody lied to. If your mother knows something, if your father knows something, if your grandparents know something, who's around y'all to lie to y'all? Either you using a lie or you retarded. You know what I'm saying? Y'all make it sound like people go to school and actually listen to history class or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know. I don't remember if I even passed history class. I know I was getting taught something based upon colonists did, and I know when I go home, I see another thing, and people already doing something. That was never a confusion. That was never a confusion. That don't be no confusion in nobody though. Like that don't be no confusion in y'all. A lot of y'all just be scammers and grifters. You know what I'm saying? That don't be no confusion. You know who was bumping Jamaican music up the street. You know who was bumping Puerto Rican music up the street. You know, and that was never no confusion. Ain't nobody, no Mexican got confused. No Native American got confused. No Japanese person got confused. Nobody. It's only a small pocket of retarded people. And them people, when they was in the hood and not online, they wasn't confused. They got online and got confused for a check. You know what I'm saying? Or they got into these college rooms and got confused for a check. But just know, people ain't born confused and degenerate. People born already knowing what's going on. How somebody gonna tell you about what your uncle did and they ain't around your uncle? But yet you get ready to have somebody come around you and tell you Europeans lied to us. How would a European know what your uncle did? You know what I'm saying? What lies y'all talking about? You just lost in nationality terms that don't got nothing to do with nothing. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Ain't no kids growing up confused about who they are. Is y'all retarded? You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody running around talking about everybody out of Africa. That's only in colleges and online. And people cosplaying the hood. That's it. You ain't gonna never see that in the hood or the suburbs. You only gonna see that in colleges, Walt Disney and Michael Jordan commercials, and somehow online right now. People even making that a discussion. That ain't even something people give matters to. How's that helping anybody? That's just like flat earth and out of Africa theory. Who gonna get a check from that? Who that matters to? The earth flat, now what? Everybody out of Africa, now what? Ain't no African still in charge, and you still got a whole bunch of bills to pay on the flat earth. So what difference does wait, come on. 6, 7, retarded, the cop, I'm lost, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Which one? You know what I'm saying? You don't go no further than that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I wasn't even about to come on that long. I just be hearing nonsense sometimes. I don't even talk about this kind of stuff, but some stuff is just retarded when you listen to it. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make no sense because y'all create arguments on yourselves. Y'all don't have to. Just like y'all don't want to think we're rotating as a body of water, and water didn't fall on Earth. Earth got shaped and molded out of water. So as you see the sun and moon going to the right, it's because we're rotating to the left. Y'all want to make arguments that the sun and moon is moving on its own volition. So now y'all got to add another argument. Where the sun come from? Where the moon come from? What's keeping it in order? So you get lost into a spooky God concept that ain't got nothing to do with reality and how reality is playing out. So this is what I'm saying. Like, this is what y'all be into, and this is how y'all talk about the out of Africa theory. So so the original butterfly, do they come from one location? Y'all getting ready to say all species come from Africa? Also, all species migrated so everybody just had good, healthy walking kneecap abilities. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all need to stop believing even when it comes to Native American stories and stuff like that. Europeans taught y'all about a Bering Strait Bridge that really just had something to do with trade routes. It ain't had nothing to do with nobody migrating from that and walking thousands of miles, and now we humans that we can't walk further no more like that. That's a made up European story. All these things is to justify colonization. They don't have anything to do with reality. If I guarantee if you go in Africa and ask them origin stories, it has nothing to do with colonization. You ask a Native American, y'all watch my shit. My shit don't have anything to do with goddamn colonization. So this is why I even shut off the chat. It just be a whole bunch of stupid American brains. You go to China, it don't have anything to do with no colonization. You go to Europe and Britain, their starting point is colonization. That is their bragging rights. So, but that everybody's starting points and origins or whatever come from their own or whatever. The moment you get confused and get lost into this migration or because everybody out of one area kind of concept, and then you think you already from somewhere too, even if and you don't got the origin story or concept, then for the most part you're just lost. So your mind is only on indoctrination to get a check by default. Like by default, like you don't know anything and you're trying to teach people who know more than you about themselves. So you look crazy. But people in these positions, like in colleges or these grifters online, they not around nobody that's genuine enough to let them know in the real world you look crazy. They're just around people that makes them boost them up based off motivation or bribery. Oh, you get this check and this is what we doing or whatever. But these are things that have to be tried to be done year after year, 10 years, 20, to the point that we got stamps and clocking times. Oh, this one this created, this one this created. Oh, this one Jim Crow started. Oh, this one this with this. So it don't help you participating in it in any lighter fashion. Like, you know what I'm saying? It just looks stupid. It looked dumb. You know what I'm saying? Because at that point, everybody out of Africa, so you skip the evolution process, and then everybody is where they at. And then once you get colonized or whatever, you got to come up with a weird argument that you created the people that colonized you. That's ultimately where it leads to, with dumb arguments from African Americans, like Chinese American. That's what the term is. It's just saying you a person, you may have been born in a different geographical location than your bloodline. So if your bloodline, the people that DNA that's more on a percentage scale that you match in Africa, right? But you was born in America, right? That's what African American mean. That's what Indian American mean, not American Indian. So here's the thing, right? Even if we want to talk about the people who is confused about names, if y'all don't even like African American, to just switch it around, American African. You was a person born in America, just with the lineage from people who was probably brought on slave boats and things of that nature. American African, simple. How's y'all arguing against national terms, but in the same breath trying to argue for it? It doesn't make any sense. You either with it or you ain't. And we dealing with national terms and stuff like that. All right, make sense out of it. Don't get into a confusion unless you're trying to do that on purpose. You either in the national terms or you ain't. If you in it, understand what the hell you saying. If you ain't in it, but you keep using it and try to remix it and stuff like that, ain't nobody listening to y'all, because that's the point. Y'all not more intelligent than people. Y'all not around people's uncles, aunties, and people like me and stuff like that to even know how y'all look when y'all be talking. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm that family member, friend, or whatever you feel weird about even talking or expressing what you think you comfortable with expressing or whatever, and y'all get online expressing it like it's like it ain't no tomorrow or whatever the case may be. Just like the out of Africa theory, that doesn't even make no sense. How then y'all always leave Europeans out of discussion? How is Europeans out of Africa? How is Chinese people out of Africa? Is y'all lost in terms? The geographical location being named Africa? It ain't about that. It's about the majority of people that's still in that location. North, Central, and South America. It's about the majority of people that's still in that location. Just because you got history and timestamps of people traveling there and populating, and then in some areas colonizing and stuff, that still don't change the fact, because it's still, you had to travel from somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no stories about people already here and just start fighting each other, unless you're talking about the people that was already originated from that geographical location. That's the only stories you're gonna get when it comes to Europeans fighting each other in Europe, Chinese people and Genghis Khan and all them fighting each other, Shaka Zulus and all them fighting each other, and all the tribes over here fighting each other. Then when you get people traveling, that's when we get the starting point of knowing that there's bears in different geographical location. A panda bear traveled somewhere and figured out there's koala bears or whatever the case. Then we get into world trade and pig gang language. So this is, America is 80% Native American language, and then just a little bit of French, a little bit of Spangler man, French, British, the Europe, the England, and a little bit of that, and things of that nature. Then for the most part, this is where you're getting all the cities and the states and the legal terms and things of that nature. Other than that, all the way to suing somebody. Sioux come from the Sioux tribe, and the interactions amongst the Sioux tribe and the Europeans created that concept for you to be able to sue someone. You see what I'm saying? It's based upon that. It ain't got nothing to do with anything else. All these things has come from all the rivers, all the things we're creating as far as business ships and what we're calling them and things, corporations or whatever. But when y'all understand it from that aspect, then you would get it. You know what I'm saying? You would get it. Just like Iroquois. Iroquois was just the 5 nations, the Native American, Onaga, the Seneca, all the Native Americans that was coming together to look to oversee, when they were still in government, that over the Erie River coming from the Pennsylvania line or whatever the case may be. And then over here in the early broader line of Ohio. So if you understand the French and the British and native terminology, when you hear Haudenosaunee using Iroquois, you're actually hearing Erie and the Khoi, mean British worker. So Iroquois just means the Native Americans that separated themselves from the Haudenosaunee and started to support British endeavors over the Erie Lake. And when it comes into furs and things of that nature being exchanged based upon the early old world trade wars or whatever the case. But other than that, it's just taking everybody out of the game of the world trade, and you have certain races who want more importance of that world trade. That's it. And right now you just got Europeans, Chinese people, and Arabs being at the head, but in that order: Europeans, Chinese, and then Arabs in that order. Then they're given a leeway, a hand up to Africans. They're trying to, but Indians taking their place. Not Native Americans, but East Indians. So those will be Indian Americans, not American Indians. Same way a few African Americans is confused. You could change your stuff around to American African, but for the most part, they kind of took that place when the African kept dropping the ball based upon other stuff. So you got the Indian sliding in now. So now you got the European in the race. Then you have the Chinese. Then you have the Arab, and there was close proximities coming up is the Indian, the East Indian, or whatever the case may be. And then everything up under that is just constructed. You getting into world leadership and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You got little Mexicans there every now and then. Over there in Mexico, you got other people, you know what I'm saying? This what's the dude, Ibrahim, the dude from Africa, this what he trying to evolve himself in. So the moment we start seeing him and being utilized through the beast as far as propaganda and stuff like that, we know that, okay, he's trying to play on the game. Well, at least people who got common sense. I don't know about people who just lost in the sauce, you know what I'm saying? This is why this stuff don't really be, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's just based upon understanding, do you want to affect people's emotions and not care about them or not? That's all you're doing. If you've been a rapper or a singer or whatever like that, you think you somebody when you like, all right, yeah, I don't care about emotions no more. Like just something stupid, you know what I'm saying? So, but still having to use it to think other people care about it or whatever to reproduce what. If this is not there as far as a way for people to make money, that don't work anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter what rollout or what's being broadcasted to be sold. If a person is not in a position to be able to counterpartmentalize, if that's important enough to take what they worked hard for to buy, then it's really a nonsensical game. You see what I'm saying? It's like it's counterproductive. It's like me, for an example. Let's say I create a gas station. Right? But if I want to quote unquote play God or colonize a land or whatever, right? It's supposed to be my responsibility, if I'm a good person, to make sure everybody has a position to be able to afford this gas, because that's going to keep me in business. Now, this is when it becomes counterproductive. I'm not about business and being moral. I'm about some mental authority, and I want people to look at me a certain way, but I ain't really like that. So now I got to do manipulation or whatever. So it's creating the gas station, but not creating the circumstance for people to afford the gas or whatever, right? So in my mind, I must be more in some type of ego where I want someone to bend their knee and cry for me to lower the gas, other than me just creating a situation for individuals to afford that gas. So once the business is booming and things of that nature, people start making more money, I can raise the gas a little bit or whatever the case may be. People won't mind. Not me threatening people, I'm going to raise this gas and even put you in a situation of it's against the law if you ain't even in a situation to afford the gas, but yet I'm controlling the land. I'm the landlord. I ain't even create no situation for you to even be in a position like that. You see what I'm saying? So at some point, it becomes retarded where I may be in a small dick energy other than what makes sense energy. And the only thing that's going to crash is no one's going to be able to afford my gas. So guess what's going to happen after that? I'm not going to have no money at my gas station or whatever, because I didn't put people's spiritual backs against the wall. So regardless of me thinking that they're going to be like, well, forget it. Either I go to another gas station or whether I just do what I got to do to get the gas, people start to switch up because there's always a third route. People going to stop caring about anything that has to do with gas. So if I'm sitting here giving all my investments and importance to be like, I need this fuel, I need this gas, or whatever the case may be, I'm wasting money because I'm getting ready to do something no one cares about. Let's say the gas is a Jordan shoe and I put it out. No one cares about the shoe no more. You know what I'm saying? No. So anytime now I got a stain on myself. Anytime I'm trying to promote gas or a shoe in another light, right? People don't care. People gonna look at me like it's the same joke, but I'm not gonna get the same results. People gonna look at me like, oh, he's just trying to sell us gas in another light. He's trying to sell us shoes in another light. And it's really gonna show intelligent people that I crashed out and whatever my ego I was in, right? I can't have that no more. I got to get out of an ego. So now I need the people that I was acting like I didn't need based upon me thinking that they was going to do with my retarded brain thinking that they was going to do by having them in that funky situation with the gas or the shoes, however y'all want to put it in, and me not creating no situation that they can afford it. You see what I'm saying? So for the most part, this is kind of like, you see how I will look, it's counterproductive. You know what I'm saying? It's just counterproductive in some way. So we have to become a little bit more intelligent on how we substantiate our circumstances, whether you're doing this with your family, your friends, your associates, your co-workers, or however the case. Make sure you substantiate in a way of things that work out for it makes sense, because you could be making decisions based upon an ego, and that ego ain't gonna get you nowhere far just because at that starting point or middle stage of it, the necessity itself was allowing you to be in a position you were in. But the moment people be in that position long enough, they're going to get unstable of that type of positioning or whatever. So for the most part, we have to always be aware of these things when it comes to business, or when it comes to handling certain circumstances. But just in a nutshell, like I said, I wasn't going to be long. It's just that out of Africa theory, this is going to be the unpopular opinion. People going to bring up a lot of other stuff if they come across this video. They're not going to start to break down things that make sense. Is an animal because where they migrated at, or because where that koala bear was born at, or that panda bear was born at? And as you get ready to say that, even though that panda bear and a koala bear, all bears come from Australia or something like that, or Antarctica, is you get ready to make that stupid argument or whatever, because you got to work hard when you wrong. See, when something simple, you could teach it to a 3-year-old. You know what I'm saying? You could teach it to a 3-year-old. You don't have to be, you could be like, look, 3-year-old, look, yeah, Africans from here, Arabs from here, Europeans from here, Native Americans from here, Chinese people from there. The geographical location is just, you could do this with animals and bud. Boom, a 3-year-old understand it. As soon as you start to be like, hey, child, everybody from Africa, they'll get confused. They're going to be like, wait a minute. So then, and if they're intelligent enough, the first idea that's going to pop in their mind is, what, so humanity started off incest? You know what I'm saying? Like that's as far as this is gonna go. Like you got to start taking up for incest. Y'all got to start describing incest like it makes sense or whatever. And you could do some incest stuff right now and see that it make retarded people. Some of y'all are born out of incest. All y'all look exactly the same and stuff like that in y'all family. Some ain't right, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's why everybody ain't got it all there. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times y'all don't be peeping game. So you get ready to tell me that the human race is more retarded than animals? Because the only time I see incest happening, if something happened every day, God got something to do with it. If it happened once in a blue moon, a human made that idea. You know what I'm saying? And got to make a calendar around it or whatever. But if it happened every day, we see birth can happen every day. Death can happen every day. Transition can happen every day. A lot of stuff y'all be talking about, we don't see that happening every day. We don't see Europeans evolving out of Africa every day. We don't see Chinese people evolving out of Africa every day. We don't see Europeans having sex with African Americans and making Native Americans every day. We don't see that. We don't see Europeans having sex with Polynesians or Chinese people and making Native Americans. We don't see that every day. We don't see none of this creation stuff y'all be talking about because y'all lost in some type of book or some type of thing y'all learned in college or some grifter online. We don't see none of these things every day. If you are African and you had sex with a European, y'all got that type of mixed child. If you're a European and had sex with a Native American, or African that had sex with a Native American, you look like me. If you're pure Native American, you'll look like a pure Native American. There is no such thing as there was dark natives back in the day and there was red natives. That's retarded. Who made that up? If you a Japanese person and you had sex with a black person, okay, you got that type of person. All right. If you Britain, I mean, if you a Spangler and you have sex with a Native American, and let's say y'all got Africans in y'all family, or something like that, or Filipinos in y'all family, you can make a Mexican. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, it's just a national term. They're actually mixed with European, Native American, and if you're on the West Coast, maybe a Arab or East Indian or something like that. If you're on the East Coast, maybe an African American or whatever, based upon knowing history and colonization. When it comes to the East Coast, not the South. That's when slavery happened, once Africans already here and things of that nature. The first thing is getting natives out the way or whatever, and then bringing Africans over, and that's all on the East Coast. So you have Filipinos, Africans, French, Britain and British individuals. That's East Coast, right? Then when you get to slightly more the Midwest and then the West Coast and things of that nature, you get Spangler man and French and the English. So let me not forget the English for the East Coast, and then the Spangler man, and then those the ones that mixed with the brought Africans, certain Africans, but you're gonna have more the percentage scale of them being mixed with native, or whatever the case. F that situation. Not everybody. We're talking about specific people who just fucking y'all be trying to make things generalized. It's not generalized. Like it's a thing, because this how y'all be sounding. Y'all be sounding like this. Oh, Africans came over here, so just because of that fact, that mean Africans today, all of them have European and natives. No, you have certain Africans that may have fucked certain Europeans or certain Native Americans. That didn't mean the African whole family turned into a whole nother race. No, they were still them same people. That a mixed person only lasts for 1.5 generation or whatever the case may be. And everybody DNA cancel each other out. Anybody mixed knows that, or whatever the case may be. So for the most part, it ain't got nothing to do with what y'all even be talking about, how it's just some new race or whatever the case. No, you have some people who mix and some people who ain't. Is you mixed or you not? That's what it comes down to, or whatever. Either you mixed or you ain't. Not no attaching this whole we. And there's a group, large percentage scale of people that come from people that doesn't make sense. That's like a person who got a European great grandfather or whatever the case. That's just a European or a Japanese person or anyone, African, that then lost they way. Because if they don't look like none of their offsprings, that mean whoever they had sex with, genes was stronger. All mixed people DNA cancel each other out when you're mixed, and then their other side took more of the energy. So later on down the line, the mother new kids ain't got none of that person, or whatever the case may be. The person who was mixed for 1.5 generation was the only person that was mixed, and then they kids was lesser on a percentage scale until they had sex with the same people, and then that was it. So the white grandfather no longer exists. You can't say that person got anything to do with you. Is you mixed now? Know what I'm saying? Y'all can't say my grandmother. Is your father something now? Is your mother the thing now? Because that's what you are. Just like what they parents is. You see what I'm saying? There ain't no such thing as y'all separate that concept, and then when y'all use the term grandmother, y'all try to mix it in a colonist term. Your grandmother was either pure something or mixed something. You know what I'm saying? You either pure something or mix something. There ain't no you're something new now. That don't make any sense. I don't know what y'all talking about. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't even make any sense. Nothing teaches that. So y'all got to get that out of Africa theory stuff out of y'all brain. You know what I'm saying? Far out of y'all brain or whatever the case. Because y'all get lost in the sauce. Don't understand none of y'all roots. And then for the most part, get confused on when you look at yourself in the mirror or whatever the case may be. You should know if you pure or if you mix with something. Your mother know what she pure or mixed with. Your father know what they pure or mixed with. You should know what you pure. Man, there ain't no such thing as somebody lying to you about that. Ain't nobody about to. That's like me knowing me and my dick, and then me saying somebody lied to me about knowing what my dick is. But that's what y'all trying to say when y'all be talking about history and talking about people 100 years ago. Like these people don't know themselves. Like that don't even make no sense. That's dumb. You know what I'm saying? That's dumb. You either mix or you ain't. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no such thing as you trying to create some new thing based upon national terms. I don't know where y'all got that from. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just get lost. And that come from the out of Africa theory. And then I don't know where you at. I mean, it ain't where you at is where you, I mean, it ain't where you from is where you at. Somebody lied to y'all. Somebody lied to y'all. Somebody lied to y'all. Try to move in a neighborhood that a gang already there and see how fast they ask you where you from. You know what I'm saying? See how fast they ask you where you from. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the case may be. So I don't want to hear all that. It ain't where I'm at, it's where I'm from. If it was if it ain't, I mean, if I ain't where I'm from, is where I'm at. If that was the case, y'all get lost. It's just when you get corrected and you have to oblige, but you obliging to rules that's already there in some way, shape, or form. Not no, unless you're trying to take it over. Other than that, there is no that don't make sense. None of these things don't make sense. So until I start seeing y'all have arguments about all butterflies come from Africa, all bears come from Africa, pardon me, all tongues come from Africa, because even a tongue come with it too. This is something that y'all be passing, right? There's some stuff that's irrefutable. It's irrefutable. Like when you hear people from the South, from Africa, or when you hear East Coast people or whatever, I don't care if you was born in America. Your tongue, you have a certain vernacular, whether you're colonized with a language or not, or things of that nature. So y'all can't pass that up either. Uh, yeah, it's kind of like it's hard to describe. You can kind of hear like I sound choppy a little bit. All right, y'all probably hear a sound or whatever, like, but it's a tongue thing. It ain't something forced, or it ain't something. It's blood. You see what I'm saying? So when they say African American or whatever for the case the matter, right? It's just saying your blood. Y'all getting lost in DNA and stuff like that. It's saying your blood I mean, y'all getting lost in national terms, but it's more about DNA. It's saying your blood come from Africa, but you was born in America. See what I'm saying? That's all it's saying. It's not saying you to try to go to war on Europeans about. It's not saying. So if you are understanding national terms or whatever, then you do it intelligently. But when you confuse yourself, then you have to make distinctions. What we're talking about is we talking about blood and DNA, or because all we getting ready to start to have a bunch of arguments is about, right? But this is how you know somebody is being a grifter, when it is about DNA, but they get ready to tell you that Europeans is lying about DNA or whatever. As if at that point you have to separate from even having to get a test and create a bunch of confusion. When really, no, you get a test, but the argument that they're trying to say why you should or shouldn't is what's creating cloudiness. And if you a person that don't even have to get into that cloudiness or whatever the case, you already know who you are, and can't nothing confuse you from what a European is, what an African is, what an Arab is, what a Native American is, and things of that nature. All you have to do is listen. You don't, and look. All that confusion, I don't know where y'all get that from. Even think about what a person's mind is on. For an example, right? Y'all might hear certain FBAs and stuff start talking about they native or whatever, right? No Native American talk about respiration. Don't care about hip hop like that unless we about to do it way better. You know what I'm saying? Don't even get involved into talking points. So that shows who raised you, like what you're up under, like what you're thinking about, what's normal for you, and what y'all talk about around the dinner table or whatever the case may be. All these things count or whatever. So when you get lost in national terms, you miss the actual fact that regular people in real life, what we're paying attention to ain't what y'all paying attention to. So even when you hear that stupid conversation out of Africa theory, you need to start paying attention to as you get ready to say all monkeys come from out of Africa. You know what I'm saying? As you get ready to say an animal is something based upon because where they travel to. You know what I'm saying? So the animal is that kind of animal because where they migrated at. It ain't got nothing to do with where they originated at. You know what I'm saying? They got nothing to do with that. It got something to do with where they travel. That's what you get ready to say? You know what I'm saying? So you got this out of monkey theory or out of butterfly theory, where all species come from one area and things. That's right. And then you got to argue for incest. Is that what you get ready to say too? There was this one race, just two people, and then they start giving birth based upon incest, a whole bunch of retarded kids. And then now you about to get into migration, and then you about to get into an evolution conversation on how people could just genetically change based upon where they travel to. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life. This why y'all believe in the Bering Strait Bridge, but y'all never heard that from a Native American. This why y'all believe in all the colonist stuff without understanding it from your starting point. And if you so spiritual, why you ain't got an origin story? Why you don't know anything? If that's the case, why all y'all arguments is on the starting point based upon what y'all claim colonists lied to people about? That's nobody's argument. How can somebody lie? That's like a gang member saying, yeah, colonists lied to us about what we're doing. Colonists don't know anything about y'all kicking doors and getting stains at the moment, or whatever the case may be. So for someone to come out the blue and be like, yeah, I'm a gang member, kind of like that dude that was trying to do the Black Panther stuff. Yeah, and for them to just come out of nowhere and be like, hey, all gang members, yeah, colonists lied to us. They're going to look at you crazy. They're going to be like, you don't know what's going on with us. What the hell are you talking about or whatever, right? But this the mind frame y'all in when y'all watch too much TV and y'all really ain't around nobody, and you probably just a grifter that went to a college and you institutionalized. This is your brain. Like, this is your brain. You don't think right. So then you push yourself out thinking you're doing something for whatever somebody taught you or handler taught you, to a whole bunch of people that's going to look at you like you sound crazy. You don't make no sense, or whatever the case may be. So here's where payola come into play. This is where payola start to exist. It had to exist, where none of these people, always somebody from another background speaking from other people in their backgrounds or something like that. And this is why y'all having so many problems with y'all got these foreigner conversations now. Y'all slow. But I love all y'all from the bottom of my heart, man. Y'all just get y'all mind together. There ain't no such thing as out of Africa theory unless you get ready to explain that it was two humans practicing incest. And if you get ready to say, well, there was humans all over Africa, why couldn't be humans all over the place? Then when we get to America, you get ready to use a colonist argument. Couldn't have been no humans here because it was an ice age. Ice age means what ice is doing right now. The colonists taking everybody's food and everything of that nature and make you suffer. And then a lot of people die in these times of hungriness or whatever the case may be during the ice period, taking people's harvesting session away after the summertime. And then after harvest season, you don't have nothing to survive on or whatever the case. That's what the ice age mean. Y'all lost in some military allegory. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know you could tell be grifters and stuff, because how you ain't a part of your people to know anything? Why you keep talking about stuff that colonists made up and you don't know the starting point of it? Like, it don't even make no sense. Ain't no such thing as a real life ice age in no America or whatever. And then y'all don't even be understanding it from this simple point. How do y'all keep accepting information from people who ain't from the places? Y'all arguments started from people who ain't even from Africa, talk about out of Africa theory. Then y'all use ice age arguments from people who ain't even from America. People who told you they traveled here on a boat and colonized. They told you that. They told you that. What are you talking about? Like, you know, it's like y'all are lost. So you get some information from someone who ain't here. Then when someone from here tell you something, you take their mind frame to say it's retarded. Oh, they talking about animals again. They talking about space. They talk about the sun and moon again. And then you come up with a dumb argument. And then when you want to have an intelligent argument, you come up with out of Africa theory. Oh, y'all go kick rocks with John Clinton open-toe sandals on. Flight pause. Man, don't go in front of that. You know, for sure. You're not listening to the Mind of Military's Moon. I am the Royal Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and beep. Responsibilities and obligations and duties. Hell, hold that yellow hoop. That's a so it. Mama na to it. Hee hee. Woo. That's a saki.